Governance is the backbone of sustainable business. In Africa, where our economies are dynamic, diverse, and rapidly evolving, effective governance is both more challenging and more critical than in many other regions. With political transitions, regulatory complexity, and social pressures shaping the business environment, companies that succeed are those that embed governance not as a compliance exercise, but as a strategic advantage. In understanding the African context, Africa is not a single market, but a continent of 54 countries, each with distinct legal systems, regulatory frameworks, and cultural contexts. This diversity makes governance a complex task. A one-size-fits-all approach rarely works. Instead, effective governance requires both local adaptation and global best practice. The African business environment is also characterized by high levels of informality, rapid technological adaptation, and youthful demographics. Effective governance must address these realities, ensuring that businesses are accountable, transparent, and inclusive whilst remaining agile enough to thrive in fast-changing markets. In looking at the different pillars of effective governance, board independence and diversity being the first, the reality is that effective governance starts with leadership. Boards that are independent, diverse in skills, and representative of the societies they serve are better equipped to challenge management, anticipate risk, and seize opportunities. In Africa, this also means including women and younger professionals who bring different perspectives and better reflect demographic realities. Looking at transparency and accountability, trust is the currency of governance. Given widespread concerns about corruption across parts of the continent, companies that must demonstrate transparency in reporting, procurement, and stakeholder engagement. Clear disclosures, strong audit functions, and accessible communication channels build confidence among investors, regulators, and the communities. With regulatory compliance with flexibility, when we look at regulatory frameworks in Africa, these can vary significantly and often evolve rapidly. Companies that succeed invest in compliance teams that not only ensure adherence, but also engage regulators proactively. At the same time, governance structures must allow for flexibility. The ability to pivot when laws change or political transitions occur are key. When looking at risk management and resilience, African markets face risks ranging from political instability to currency volatility. Effective governance requires boards to prioritize risk oversight and scenario planning. Companies that integrate environmental, social, and governance factors into risk management are better positioned to weather shocks and maintain continuity. Stakeholder engagement in Africa is the social license to operate. It is important as a regulatory approval. Communities expect companies to contribute meaningfully to development, from job creation to environmental stewardship. Effective governance means embedding stakeholder engagement into decision-making, ensuring companies act as partners in national and local growth. When you think about technology and data governance, with Africa's fintech boom and digital transformation, data governance is emerging as a critical pillar. Protecting customer data, ensuring cybersecurity, and complying with data protection laws such as POPIA or NDPR are now essential to maintaining trust and long-term competitiveness. So why does this matter? Why do all of these things matter? Strong governance in Africa is not just about compliance. It is about building resilient companies that can adapt to complexity and contribute to sustainable development. International investors increasingly use governance standards to assess risk. Local communities judge companies by their transparency and inclusivity. Regulators look for credible partners who respect the rules. Companies that invest in governance gain more than regulatory approval. They secure trust, attract capital, and build long-term value, so they last longer. In Africa's fast-growing but unpredictable environment, governance is a competitive advantage. In conclusion, effective governance in Africa is about balance. I'm talking about blending global standards with local realities, independence with inclusivity, compliance with agility. Companies that understand this will not only navigate risk, but will thrive as trusted players in shaping Africa's economic future.